Alright guys, hey, Corbin Hostler here. You can find me here on YouTube at chostler88, same on Twitter and Twitch as well. I've got some modern Merfolk for you today. It's my favorite deck and the one that I'm probably most known for, so I want to run it through some events here. So I'll go run through the list real quick before we jump in. Is 3 Cavernous Souls, 12 Islands, 3 Mutavault, 1 Manama, 1 Obero. I like having the 3 Cavern. Against all the twin decks. There's a bunch of Remand decks. It's really great when it's good. 3 Mutavaults is maybe sort of the thing that's not as common, but I find that you're much more likely to lose a game to not having blue in the first couple turns than you are to not having a 4th Mutavault in your deck. I mean, there's a small percentage of games you would win by having the 4th one and having access to it, but I think it is not. I think it's more than offset by the number of games where you have to mulligan because you don't have an island, or you don't have double blue and you keep one blue hand and you never cast a Lord and die. So obviously Mutavault's great when it's good and you have the perfect draw, but in my experience 3 has just been better. Manamo, not really much there. Sometimes you can untap Thassa. Obero, good for filtering mana sometimes. You can tap it for blue, use a Mutavault to return it, then replay it and get blue, even if it's your only land. So just kind of a trick there. Rest of the list, more or less standard-ish, a couple tweaks. 4 Curse Catchers, you'd expect 4 Vial. I have 2 Spell Pierce and 2 Vapor Snags each. I think that they're both still good, and I like having some interaction with the combo decks and stuff in game 1, plus you can usually catch a removal spell with it, that sort of thing. Vapor Snags are still good. I think they combo well with Harbinger of the Tides, but Harbinger of the Tides doesn't completely replace it in my opinion. But then everything else, 4 Silvergill, 4 Spreading Seas, 4 Lord, 4 Master. I'm on 3 Harbinger of the Tides because when it's bad, it's pretty bad. I think 3 is the right number. 4 Regery, 1 Siege, which I've been liking more than Kira recently. A lot of Pyroclasms and Tron and stuff like that, and this is good against Burn. It just sort of has a lot more versatility than Kira. Thassa, this could be the 4th Master of Waves, depending. I like it a lot in the grindy matchups. Just the ability to scry every turn is really big. And once you have a couple of Spreading Seas on the field, it's not that hard to just turn this into a 5/5, even when you only maybe have one other creature. So I'm a big fan of Thassa. Then the 3 Masters. Looking over here at the sideboard, we have the other Spell Pierce and Swan Songs for the combo decks, the Relic Progenitus for the graveyard decks, or just basically any Snapcaster deck, just generically good. The Recalls for Affinity, and I guess Lantern Control, because that's the thing we need to worry about now. Tidebinders for the green matchups. Hibernation, it's basically you're only out to like Elves and Boggles and stuff. Kira, you bring it in against a lot of decks where you want the removal and you don't necessarily want a Curse Catcher or something. Ruinator, bring this in against the heavy control decks that just want a 1-for-1 on my creatures. And then the Dismember, which are actually, we have 13 in our sideboard right now, so we actually need to add a couple. I think I like the second Dismember here, comes in quite a bit. Additionally, probably just the second Hibernation, because Elves top-aided recently, that's more of a deck, and Boggles is kind of on the upswing, and these are some of your only outs against them. But that's the deck, and we'll go ahead and jump into an 8-man here just to get some game. Alright, here we go. Round 2. We are on the play, and this is a hand we can keep. Pretty solid. Obviously vile, but after that, we've got some nice cards here once we draw some stuff. We'll Vile Lord into Thassa into Master, which is pretty good, while having Spell Pierce up, and if we draw lands, we get to keep going off. Alright, Inquisition. I assume he takes the Spreading Seas here. It's probably his best choice. Took the Thassa. Wow, okay. It's a good card. Yeah, I guess there are worse things to do. Definitely want to hit some running creatures or like 1 land now for Seas. Coif? Confidant. Good start. Alright, let's hope there's no Liliana coming here. Swamp. Okay, could be a Liliana. This is very far behind when you have double vial and you get Inquisitioned and he has a turn 2 Confidant. You're definitely behind. So we know he has a Swamp in hand. Scoos. Okay. Alright, well let's start, see where we get here. Gonna need to draw well. It's not bad. Alright, we've got the Lord here. We can start the island walking. We actually have a 4/4 to block with too in case it's relevant. The Spell Pierce and a Master of Waves next turn, so don't feel like we're in a good spot, but it is possible we can get there. Overgrown Tomb, yep. 0 for 2 on doing damage with Confidant, obviously. Oh, he's junk. Alright, or Abzan. Lingering Souls, everything that exists. This is okay, though. We can actually counter Lingering Souls, though I wouldn't. But we can counter Liliana, which I would. Next turn, we have 9 damage. I mean, we're ahead in the race. Let's see what he does here. I mean, there's certainly a number of things we'd have trouble beating as well, but he really needed his white mana to cast Lingering Souls. Yeah, you can just have it. I don't need to counter that. Okay, which one is this? This one? No. This one? Yes. Guess we should have said yes. So I think we just do this. He goes to 4. Or it goes to... oh, it's 4/4. Yeah, it goes to 3. Hey, we won. Alright. Sweet. Alright, Abzan. Let's do it. So the way this goes, we actually have a ton of stuff to board out. And here's one of the major points that a lot of people don't necessarily realize with this deck, is you board out Aether Vials in matchups like these. Basically, the black-green X decks, where they're going to grind you out, they're going to play a long game. Aether Vial is just a really dead draw, and it doesn't do that much for you. Relic of Progenitus, on the other hand, does. I don't really like Hibernation here. They don't do enough, but I like Scab, I like Kira, I like Dismembers, I like Tidebinders. Don't like Curse Catchers that much. Don't like Pierces that much on the... don't like Pierces on the draw. You can't play a 2-drop and catch a Liliana, which is sort of the important thing. As you can see, we become a much more grindy deck, and this is where you'd want the 4th Master, which could easily be in the sideboard. Over the 2nd Hibernation. I don't know that we necessarily need 2 Vapor Snags. I think maybe 1 Vapor Snag is what we want, and a Curse Catcher, just to have another guy here. The Vapor Snags are... Scavenging Ooze is obviously the most important one, as is bouncing your own guy in response, but we have Harbingers for the Oozes, as well as just the Relic plan here. And between Thassa, Kira, Siege, and Ruinator, we're very much set up to play the long game. And the 4 Cs can sort of wreck them too. You don't need to be scared of these decks. People think these are the bad matchups for Merfolk, and you can just play the long game with them. I mean, sometimes you can just get blown out by the Liliana, but, they don't always have it. If they go, like Goyf into Liliana, like Inquisition, Goyf, Liliana, you basically can't win, but that's true of a lot of decks. This hand, on the other hand, is going to allow us to Curse Catcher. We'll see what he does on turn 2, but we can seize him off of black mana here. Confidant's the one I did not want to see, but it's alright. So I'm going to play... Here's another little piece of this deck. a lot of people would say, hey, I just need colorless this turn, I can cast Mutavault. But if I draw like Lord of Atlantis or something, I'm going to want to go Lord Cursecatcher possibly, and that's not a thing I can do. Basically, you don't want to play this until the turn you're going to, the turn before you're going to attack with it. And there's no way I'm attacking with this next turn, so there's no reason to play it over a blue source. So we will just play the blue source, and Spreading Seas is Twilight Mire. Okay, if we draw any more land this game, we're going to be in trouble. Get in there, get our point in, start playing this Dark Confidant game. He's 3 for 3 on not taking damage to Dark Confidant. Our hand could be worse, but if we draw another land, we're going to be dead. Right, he's got no black mana. Wow, it's aggressive. Okay. That's pretty good. See what I was talking about? We drew a double blue card here. And now I'm just going to bounce his Dark Confidant, as well as play my Cursecatcher and get on in there. And if we had played the Mutavault first, there's no way that would have worked. So now next turn we'll play the Mutavault in all likelihood and have Regery plus Dismember up. So not in a bad spot here. Cutting him off of the black is good for us. Likewise, there's not, for the most part, Cavern's blue mana, but there is sometimes it's not, obviously, with Vapor Snag or Spell Pierce or Spreading Seas. So, you know, obviously there's no need to play it here over an actual blue source, so. I guess trying to play around Choke is the reason. So, yeah, it's a possibility, but Choke's actually not even very great against us right now. We'll see what he's contemplating here. He actually can't even recast a Dark Confidant as is, so. Interesting. So this is one of those, we boarded out Aether Vial, and I assume in the dark you bring this in because you think you're going to name Aether Vial with it. I mean, first game I did keep one land Aether Vial, and easily won, as it turns out, so I can see why he wants this, but man, it's really bad. Cursecatcher. Yep. Guess that's another reason to hold the Mutavault. not really, but okay. Got a Lord. Leave our island untap here in case there is a choke. Wonder if he has like Damnation and that's what he's trying to protect here. Oh, we're gonna get Path. Oh, okay. He just wants to make sure his Dismember resolves. I accept. Takes 4 damage to Dismember our guy. Has a big board he has to deal with. So has no black mana. I think we're in good shape. Yep, there we go. There we won. So as you can see, the black-green X-Decks are a lot easier to deal with than you would think.